Welcome back to Making Mizzou this week. I'm Martin Rucker, my co-host Tommy Saunders, and man, we got a special guest for you guys this week. I've been talking about it since like week one. Every time we talk about who the best athlete we've seen, pure athlete, okay, can play just about anything, everything, and is good at it, regardless of how many times they practice. My man, Danario Alexander. Danario, what's up, man? Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey,
baby.
Hey, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. The pride of St. Joe Mo, T-Ruck, Missouri, Tommy Saunders, man. I'm in the presence of Mizzou legends, man. Mizzou greats. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Man, the real 8-4 right there, baby.
Hey, man, no, Tommy, you the original 8-4. What you mean? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, shoot.
Well, awesome. It's great to have you, and we want to make sure we thank our host, 360 Vodka, for sponsoring the podcast right up north here in Weston, Mo. If you haven't been there, go there, and if you don't have any, go to your nearest Hy-Vee and get some. So we'll jump right into it. Danario, talking about our Tigers, man. It's been a little while since we've been there. We've had a few different head coaches. We've had a few different ADs. Everything's kind of turned over there. I saw you were at the game on Saturday, close one, heartbreaker. Have you had the opportunity to interact with Coach Drink at all yet, since he's been there over the last couple of years?
Oh, yeah, man. Well, the game was, definitely a great experience. It was good to just be around Mizzou faithful and the players and coaches and like that again. It's been a while for me. But I'll text back and forth with Coach Drink. He's very responsive. He seems like a really good guy. I watch his interviews, and I kind of keep up with him, man. I'm really excited to develop a relationship and see where he takes the program. I think he's a really good just coach, the character, just everything that he brings, especially with the kids that's playing nowadays. He fits right in, and I'm excited to see how this thing is going to turn out for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Just like looking at the game on Saturday, or before we jump into the game, and I should have done this at the beginning anyway, but tell us where you are now. Tell us where you've been a little bit over the last couple of years, and then we'll ask you what you're doing a little bit later on in the show. But where are you right now? What the heck were you doing at the game in Boston, man?
Man, I am in Boston, Massachusetts. My wife is from here. She's pregnant. She's about
Congratulations.
Thank you. She's 5 months. We're having a little girl, so little DA not coming yet. But,
hey, child's life changing. I think we all want to have a boy, but those girls, man, they change your life.
They change. Yeah. I already have one stepdaughter, but she's my daughter, man. We raised her, but you couldn't tell me that I wasn't having a son until they told me. I was like, "Are you kidding me? I'm not. What are you saying, daughter? It's a girl." But I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I feel like I got the next Serena Williams coming out.
Okay.
Yeah. So immediately I got on YouTube and I learned how to play tennis. Hey. And I kind of realized that maybe I should have played tennis. I'm 6'5". I like to hit balls with sticks.
Yeah.
Hey. So, hopefully she pick up a little bit of that. But man.
Hey.
Go ahead.
400 balls by 4. I have that in my head that I've listened to Venus Serena. It was like, okay, go out to practice. They got to hit 400 balls by age 4. So I got that in my head too.
And I'll tell you what, I love it because people are like, would you let your son play football? You want your daughters to play basketball? They're probably going to be tall and everything. I'm like, listen, I do want them to play all those sports. Team sports are great, but go play a sport where you can wear Lacoste.
Yeah,
play a sport where you got polo on.
Rolex is one of the main sponsors of the game.
Go play a sport where you don't have to rely on everybody else for your success all the time.
Honestly, But honestly, as I'm looking at, like, we have our daughter, we take her to gymnastics and soccer, and she's done swimming all across the board. And so when I take her to class and I'm looking at, okay, what sports does she want to do and where can she be successful? It's like the individual sports where she can work on her, talent by herself, where it's like soccer, they're standing out there, they're going to touch the ball one time in an hour and a half, right? Versus whenever she goes to gymnastics, she's there and she's doing the work the entire time, right? And so as you look at it, it's like tennis, golf, those sports that you can put your kids in and they can, control all the they control themselves. They can work on all the improvements themselves, the skills, where they're not having to rely on other people. I mean, that's like for real, right?
Yeah. And there are some great benefits from team sports. Like we all know, learning accountability, being accountable for your teammates and stuff like that, all your actions. But at the same time, man, I picked up an individual sport myself after I got done playing football with golf. And you talking about being having to lock in and focus because you control every part of the game, right? That teaches you to be accountable to yourself, right? And being able to lock in and keep that focus. So I'm excited, man. Like I said, obviously I want, we all have plans for our kids. But at the end of the day, it's going to rely on them. I think that the most important thing for us as parents, man, is just guide them in the right direction. And just hopefully they pick up those foundational things that's going to help them be successful in life.
Guide them and support them, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, man. So I'm in Boston right now. We'll be here for a few years, and I was actually on a golf course, and there was a guy playing with this random guy playing at a public course. And I mean, how you guys feel about coming up to BC? I'm like, what you mean? I didn't see the schedule. I'm all thinking about the SEC schedule.
Right.
And I look on the schedule, and Boston College coming in 2 weeks. I mean, Mizzou coming up to Boston in 2 weeks. So it was a great opportunity. I just reached back and got some contacts, man, and they took care of me. Mizzou took care of me when they came up here. So it was a great experience, though.
That's good to hear. What'd you think about the game? Those your pros, your cons. What was encouraging? What was discouraging? Give us your thoughts on the game.
First of all, I think the team had a lot of great energy, right? We always, used to preach at Missouri, man, just kind of enthusiasm, right? If you don't have it, create it, right? I remember you guys talking on a podcast with J-Mac. Oh, no, it was Chase. And you're like, well, I like offense, or Coach,
offense is awesome,
right? Offense is great, right? Those guys, man, I just felt the energy from the team. They loved it. They were out having fun. And Coach Drinkwitz, he leads that charge with that team. So that was something that was very encouraging. I love what they're doing on offense. I think they have a lot of great talent. Especially I'm watching the receivers, obviously, and we got a lot of big guys too, 6'5" across the board, who can run routes and make plays and stuff like that. So, I think this is the second year in the system, so just give them a little bit more time to like pick it up and learn it, and make it just second nature, and things will all come together. What I am concerned about is I think this is the trend. The topic is just kind of getting the defense. We got to be able to stop some guys. Right. I think our defense is pretty young. So, with time, with experience, they'll get better. So, but it was a heartbreaker, man. I was right there at the end of the game and saw the game losing in itself, right? Oh, bro, it was because I don't know. You can see on the replay, man. I'm standing and watching, and I'm jumping up. I'm like, it's crazy, bro. So it was tough. And then to add insult to injury, the students stormed the field. Right?
What is going on here? Is this homecoming? Or
why am I seeing people now? They jumping out of the stadium on the field, man. It was crazy, but it was a great experience, man. It's always good. I love college football. I love college sports because of the passion that's attached with it, and I felt that energy there. So I'm excited. I'm happy to be able to experience that for sure.
Yeah, and real quick, I'll interject and throw this in there. On TV, they said that this was the first time BC has been 4-0 since 2007, 2008 when Matt Ryan was there.
Matt Ryan.
So it made me think, like, me and Tommy was kind of like playing them, BC at the beginning of the year because, they sorry. But, like, it kind of reminded me of Mizzou back in those days when we were there, when, those were the goals, right? Be 4-0 going into this season. So it might actually be a team that when we get to the end of the season, that won't be a bad loss. I mean, you should have won, and you don't make that throw in that spot in that situation. But regardless of all that, like, this could actually be a pretty good Boston College football team.
Yeah. I wasn't mad at the throw. I think the DBs just made a great play. So But yeah, like you said, man, they're BC, that you can kind of tell that their team is kind of building on something. I think they lost their starting quarterback for the season. So
is that what it was?
They hit us on the ground, and they tough. They're tough. You know what I'm saying? I was watching those boys, and I saw a couple of those runs. And, just every time I see like a hard hit or something on the field, I just feel for them. And then I think back like, damn, I should take those too. But yeah, man. So that's how far removed I am from the game. I can't even get tackled like that again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know what we were going through, what we were thinking. But
we talked about last week how like every football player like has this monster inside of them that you had to have to play and do that. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And exactly as you get older, you start thinking about like, I can't imagine doing that stuff again.
Yeah. I mean, I used to try to get the hammer every week.
Yep.
I'm trying to catch a big hit somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody sleep.
Yeah, somebody sleep. Hey, now, I mean, you get kicked out the game for them hits, those hits today. But bro,
that's crazy too.
That was the intensity that we brought to the game, man. It was it was kill or be killed.
Yep.
Sure.
Right.
But
you talked a little bit about the receiving corps and how they're bigger guys now and stuff, but it's only their second year in the system. And we talked about also a couple of weeks ago how there's only like 2 or 3 guys that are on the roster in the receiver room that were here when Drink got here. So not only are they learning, a new system, but these are new guys kind of to the program as well. Talk about a little bit, or if you can remember, when it kind of started to click for you. Like, what year was it? How long had you been in the system? And what were those things that just made the offense at Mizzou start clicking for you to where you could play freely and be yourself and make plays and feel good about what you were doing?
Yeah, so when I got to Mizzou as a freshman, 17, right?
Yeah.
And we got all these plays is thrown at us, right? And it's I remember sitting in the meeting room like, man, I don't think I can do this. Like this is too much. Like, just throw me a fade. You know what I'm saying? Why I gotta do all that? I don't need to. Why I need to learn what? Just line me up and just let me go play, right? But as I started learning, just learning more about the game, I was able to kind of pick things up. I played as a true freshman, and it was still kind of fast. The game didn't really slow down for me, and there'd be times where you kind of have to, ask, oh, tell me what I got on this, or just it was never, you can never play, like you said, freely when you're thinking.
Right.
It wasn't until after my freshman season I went into the spring where it started clicking a little bit more, and then once I hit fall camp my sophomore season, it was second nature, right? So it usually take about a year and a half for guys not only to adjust to the level of playing for the college level, but also learning the playbook and being like, because it's not about just knowing the plays. It's knowing what's the purpose of the play? Why are we running smash against a certain defense, right? So once you kind of understand that, you can kind of improvise and you bring your own style because you understand the timing of the game and where you're supposed to be. So it took me about a year to definitely get comfortable, for sure.
How about in the league then? Did that change at all? Did it take a little longer? Did it come faster? Were the plays simpler to where they could just throw you a fade? How did it work once you got to the next level?
So once I got to the next level, I had 2 different offensive coordinators from my rookie year to my second year. So we really never got it together, but I felt like the league was a little bit more simple, right? There's a little bit more one-on-one ball on the outside. I was playing the X, so I would line up single receiver side, and me and Sam Bradford would pick a play. We'd pick a route, while we're on the field, right? So, but I played under Josh McDaniel. He came over from Denver. He brought the Patriots playbook to the Rams, and we actually had that lockout year that year also. So we never really got a chance to get together as an offense throughout the offseason for team play. So we hit camp, and it was everything all thrown on top of each other. Look, crazy story. We were first offensive meeting. Josh McDaniels get up and says, "Okay, guys, I understand we're throwing a lot at you, right? So we're going to go through camp. We're going to take our time. If you lined up and you don't know what to do, just turn around and ask, and somebody will tell you, right? So after the first week, we look trash. We look terrible, right? Like, what are we doing? So that second week, Josh McDaniel get up. He say, you know what, guys? F all that. If y'all don't know what we're doing, we're going to get your ass out of here. We're going to get somebody else in here. Hey, you talking about like being
in gear,
getting out, we go out or somebody run the wrong route and your whole practice is done because you're going to get fired up in the meeting room. And, it was crazy, man. It was a lot of pressure. But
how, Danario, with my long career in the NFL that I had a good 10 weeks, one of the hardest transitions for me was coming from Mizzou was to hear the play in the huddle versus everything was a signal. Did you have any trouble with that or notice that at all?
Yeah, definitely. The language was ridiculous, right? I mean, I couldn't even imagine being a quarterback because he had to repeat that like all the language.
Right.
But yeah, so that was going to be my other point in the NFL and college to a certain extent. It's almost all the same plays, right? We got the same concept. Just 3 levels of whether it's smash, we got a hitch in the corner on top, or we call go in Mizzou with three receiver side. You have a short cross, a deep cross, and a deep post, right? But the language was just so different, right? So that was really tough to try to be able to learn the language and also communicate the language, right? Throughout the team as an offense. Whenever I signed with the Chargers, our offense was a little bit more simple because it was a number system. The number system basically tells everybody what they have to do, right? So it was I signed week 8, and I started week 9, right? I didn't play week 8, week 9. I started because I knew everything. They just tell me everything to do, right? So it just depends, man. What system you get in, and if you're able to kind of just obtain all that information, it's pretty.
That was one of the tough things for me was like getting because the tight ends in the league they're always moving around. Always. So every play you got some sort of pre-snap motion. Yeah, and getting in the huddle. First huddling, right?
Right.
Knowing the play, like trying to decipher this play as he's spitting it. And then you got this much time to get to the line of scrimmage. And then as a tight end, you're moving already by the time you get to the line of scrimmage. Everything moves so fast. And I remember being in Cleveland, or I think it was Cleveland, we had the number system. So, it was like it helped me out a little bit because, 359, you got 3 route, 5 route, 9 route. Yeah. You kind of do that in your mind. The motions mess you up a little bit. But I got to Philly, and they're West Coast, and they're calling the formation Tiger Right. And I'm like, wait a minute. Tiger, that's the route concept. That's not a formation.
Right.
Like it was one of the craziest things ever, but everything's the same. It's just everybody's terminology was different. And so being a guy that you played for a few different teams in the league and a few different offensive coordinators, and I was the same way. Like, how did you adjust to so many different playbooks? Like, how did you pick it up quickly, or did you pick it up quickly?
Right. And what about the game coming from Mizzou running that spread offense and lining up and it's just you in the corner? What was that like? Because I know from us, you'd always line up and there'd be 7 guys between you and the line and defenders and linebackers spread out. What was it like just being solo out there lining up at X?
Yeah, so learn it. Once you get to the league, we played in that spread offense, and I was actually a slot receiver at Mizzou, right? So there was a lot going on. Had some favorable matchups, right? But it was still like we were playing in space with Mizzou. It was always, things were like quick. Our short passing game was an extension of our run game. So I really didn't play down the field as much at Mizzou. Once I got to the league, they moved me out to X, and all of my routes were 15-yard stops, 25-yard stop routes, 20-yard digs. I was free. I was free. There wasn't a lot of clutter. I would be one-on-one with a receiver. With a DB, and I was just able to kind of just do what I was able to do. What I did best. So I felt like, I'm not going to say the NFL was easier. It was a little bit more simple from a matchup standpoint. So I think just kind of, when I got there, I kind of, every time we move up to another level in the game, we expect so much more, right? I remember I was scared as hell when I got to Mizzou, 17 years old. I see guys with full beards. I'm like, there's no way I can do this. How could I? And then, Coach Steck recruited me as a safety. So I'm like, no, bro, I'm not tackling these big, these dudes. You got me messed up, right? But the game was a little faster, but you kind of adjust. When I got to the NFL, it was the same thing. All the information was thrown at you like really fast. But at the same time, once you got comfortable with knowing what you were able to do, you're still playing against some of the same guys, right? So, and you're able to play in space a little bit more. It just kind of made the game a little bit more simple for me. So,
I got to ask you this about Josh McDaniels. So, did he make you guys remember everybody's name on the offense and then call you guys out in the meeting and ask you who different people were in the room?
No, we didn't do that.
So Eric Mangini and those guys came from the Jets to Cleveland my second year, and they're all from Belichick coaching tree. And so every single one of the guys, wanted to have the cutoff sleeve. Everybody had the fat dip in their mouth and all that stuff. And he would make you, you had to know everybody's name on the team. And so he would call a guy who's not going to make the team, who just got there, and then he'd have the whole defensive line stand up. And this dude's on offense, trying to learn his playbook, trying to fit into the league. And he'd be like, all right, all the D linemen stand up. And he'd tell this receiver, name every single person on the D line. This is in the team room. The team meeting room after practice. So dude's like, Sean Rogers. So the starters, and you don't know everybody. It was just to make you look silly.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I didn't know if McDaniels was everybody out of Belichick's coaching tree was like that, or if it was just Mangini and his crew.
No, everybody wasn't like that, man. But that you make a great point, especially in camp. I feel like the league is so much pressure, right? Especially if you're, a guy who's trying to make the team. You're not the top draft pick. Every day this pressure, and then if you mess up, they're on your ass, right? And not only them, it's so from a psychological standpoint, you messed up, so damn man, is that the play that's gonna get me cut, right?
Because it can come down to one play. That's it.
I'm telling you, it was. I've never felt anything like that. But it definitely kind of creates character for sure, and
grows you up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes you grow up real quick. It makes you become real accountable, and it makes you work, right? So I told myself, man, I'm never going to get cut because I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
They're going to have to tell me I ain't good enough to make this team.
Right. So on that, Dario, with your mindset, what I remember about you that was, the real difference was how you accelerated into catching the ball. And so a lot of times you see receivers tense up whenever the safety's coming, when they're running the post, or they'll slow up, or they'll turn their body. Everybody does something different to take on a hit. And what it seemed like to me, as what I remember seeing it in person, and even going back and watching your highlights, you would accelerate through the catch, which would it would change the angle for the safety or that second defender that's coming over. So they're not going to hit you, and you're on the opposite side of them, when they're coming in, when that contact point comes. So now you're breaking through an arm tackle and they're not able to get their head across.
Right.
And it seems like that's what was allowing you, as I, think back and look back at your career, how you could take a slant or a post with a bunch of contact and then take it to the house. Kind of what was your mindset going onto the field, and you saw that ball in the air? Kind of what were you thinking, and how did you get past that? Oh my gosh, I'm going to get hit, because, and then using that to accelerate, through that ball to catch it.
Man, I love a part of my game, something that I took real pride in was yards after the catch. I love running with the football, right? I mean, even like when I was, Tommy, we've been in the same receiver room. I wasn't the greatest route runner, right? I'm not going to like break you down and turn you around or whatever. I'm going to get open enough to where I can get the ball and run with it. So I always knew that I was a bigger guy, I was taller, and I was faster than what everybody thought, right? And when you see me running, it doesn't look like I'm running, but I'm moving. Oh, and I feel like I'm moving, right? So whenever I'm catching a dig route or something across the middle, I always knew that okay, I got a safety. I see before pre-snap read if it's cover 2, I got a safety over the top on me, and I got a safety on the other end. If I make one of those dudes miss, I can outrun the next one, right? So I always knew, okay, I knew what angle they were coming from. So if I were, if they're behind me, I'm just going to run through the ball and just outrun them, across the field. But if they're coming on top, I may slow down a little bit, catch it with my hands and stick my foot in the ground and turn, spin around and go back the other way, right? So I just started, trying to get creative, trying to get the ball and making something happen. I was never content with 3rd and 8 and catching a 10-yard catch, and I want to take 10-yard catch to 80 yards to the zone, man. So so that was my thing, man. Jarrell Jackson, we always talk, man. I wore a face mask like a running back because I was always in yak mode. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Every time.
Okay.
Yak mode. I like it.
Yeah. So that I knew, guys, it was I was pretty strong. So when you try to arm tackle me or try to hit me without wrapping up, I'm just gonna bounce off of it and try to.
DBs don't want it, do they?
They don't want to tackle. You got to understand, DBs do not want to tackle.
They don't want to tackle nobody.
So, and I don't mind the contact. So it's a win-win for me all the way around.
Right.
Hey, give us.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
J-Mac, man. J-Mac, my boy, one of my good friends. But like just seeing how J-Mac take a bubble screen to the crib, and it looked good on TV. You know what I'm saying? J-Mac, hey, I wanted to do that too. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was all fun and games for sure.
So
I think
Tommy
it's
was
crazy.
your big brother in camp.
Yep. Big brother.
And y'all spent a lot of time in the meeting rooms together, a lot of time on the field. And give us your most classic Tommy Saunders story that you haven't told anybody yet.
Classic Tommy Saunders story. Well, I know y'all talked on a podcast about how we used to hoop in the rec, right? And I play my role because I'm a rebounder, I'm a dunk, I'm gonna do whatever. Tommy, we had Tommy Saunders, we had Will Franklin, who argued all day because they think they are the star players, right? But Tommy was the first player I would see who would get the ball and pull up at half court and hit that shot on majority of the time. And it was unreal. I'm like, Doug, what are you doing? And he'd sit there and hit it every time. And, so that was my thing. Tommy was like, Tommy, you were the most skilled guy I've ever seen, with your hands. Whether you catch, Tommy never wore gloves in practice, wore all these tapes on his fingers, stuff like that. Or he can shoot a basketball, do any type of things that's skilled. So just seeing him do that was kind of amazing to me.
Man,
I know one thing though, that Tommy, when you did miss, I knew I was going to come and catch it off the rim and dunk on everybody that was on the
Oh, 100%. That's my trigger when I get pulled. Is Danario by the 3-point line? If he's by the 3-point line, he's going to get the board or he's going to dunk on somebody.
Yeah.
Man, I remember playing one time in the rec and like telling the story does no justice at all about how incredible this play was. But I remember we were hooping and like throwing alley-oops to you was just like you could just throw it up anywhere, okay? And you come
Go get it.
Like 46-inch vert. So I came down one time and I like go to the right of the basket. I just lop it up, throw it up over my head, okay? Well, getting so lazy throwing these oops to Danario, I could just throw it whatever. Well, I throw this oop and it's like halfway in the middle of the paint, okay? And the dude on the other team jumps up and he grabs it. Okay, he grabs the ball, and as soon as his feet land, he's bringing the ball down like this. Danario jumps, grabs it out of his hands as he jumps, and windmills and two-hand dunks it. It was the most insane play I've ever seen. Like this picture, somebody else grabbing this alley-oop like they're about to outlet. Like, hey, that was a terrible pass. And he comes, takes it out of his hand, two-hand windmill. It was insane, the craziest play I've ever seen. And then, like, bro, some of the stuff you did, I told the story already, but when I was trying to vertical jump, and I was trying to PR for 36, and you came in, walked in, I don't even know what you were doing, about to start a lift, came in and backflipped on the vert pad, a 38-inch vertical. I was like, what am I doing here? I'm not on the same level. I'm not on the same level as these cats. Not on there. And then, like, hurt your feelings. You try to, like, you're like, okay, well.
I don't know, bro. That was crazy. Like, I couldn't, like, just jumping was my thing. It was everything. I felt like I was a little insecure about being slow, right? I see, you see J-Mac. I've never seen J-Mac run higher than a 4.3, right? It was always 4.3, and I'm over here struggling to break 4.5. You know what I'm saying? So I need something else, right? So that was my thing, man, to kind of, respond to that. But it was Tommy, we had some great games at the Rec, man. Then we recruited Chase Kaufman. Chase Kaufman come out. J-Mac came, but we had like an all-star team for those back in 07.
I'll know the basketball team will never admit to it, but we would beat them easy in the Rec, 100% all the time.
In the Rec for sure. But those boys, they're a whole different level of skill. But we had some boys that could have played D1 too. Tommy, you definitely could have been a D1 point guard for sure.
I mean, I think if we took the summer off and we just trained to hoop, we could have definitely. We could have definitely made a tournament. 100%.
We had some guys, size, everything. Yeah, man.
Right.
That's funny. But Danario, man, tell us a little bit about what you're doing now, man. I know we got another one on the way. You moved up to Boston with your family. We hear you picked up this other sport of golf that further shows your athleticism. Just talk about a little bit what you're doing now, how life is, and
I know whatever you're about to say, what you're doing, this is pre-PGA Tour. I know you're going to be on the PGA Tour someday. So tell us what you're doing to bridge the gap between NFL and PGA Tour, Danario Alexander.
Yeah. So right now, I've actually, with the NIL space, college athletes are able to make money off of their name, image, and likeness. And I have a company called Free Agent where we are connecting. It's a platform that's connecting student athletes with businesses to create marketing deals on their social medias, right? So I felt like this was my way to kind of give back to the game, to the sports, because, we all, experience having success on the college level, but not able to really, monetize from it, benefit. I was thinking, there's a few times where $100, could have done a whole lot. Right.
A long way, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Long ways.
Yeah. That $800 stipend, man, that thing get ate up real quick.
It's gone.
Right.
So how'd you get into that company? Who'd you start there with? Was it some guys from Columbia or some guys from the league, or how'd that work out?
No, these are so one of my good friends, Trey McDonald, we connected in Houston. His dad used to be the city manager for the city of Marlin, Texas, where I'm from.
Okay.
And so we made that connection from there. Good dude. He went to Morehouse, Stanford, University of Texas Law School. And, we sat down and, a few years ago when California were, kind of making noise about making those changes for the state of California, we kind of saw it as, okay, well, this is going to go, it's here now, right? So we came up with an idea on how we're going to, get that, that space for college athletes around the country. So that was our thing, man. We definitely wanted to figure out a way to help college athletes This is going to be a space that's brand new. So we want it to come from an informative space also to teach players how to really maximize their potential from their social media. And we pride ourselves on just kind of being the house of the athlete, the home of a college athlete. So it was, I felt like for me, there's always a void when it comes to, sports and, football and college sports and everything. I wanted to kind of, be a part of that. And this is a great opportunity for me to do that. So we've been working pretty hard, man. We launched back in July 6th. We were able to get, on that day, we got about 7 or 8 athletes paid just immediately. We had a few hundred players sign up on our platform, and we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to, expand and bring this out to everybody. So it's pretty exciting. It's fulfilling. I love it. We talk all the time about it, and we're going to keep pushing for sure.
Where do you see this thing going? I mean, image and likeness is one thing, but like, what's next as far as players getting paid? Do you think it stops here? Do you think there's something else, another opportunity for them to grab another slice of pie from somewhere else? Or what do you think the future of the NIL is? What does it bring?
And jump on the back of that, what's the biggest challenge along with that to get it to where you think it can go?
Okay. Yeah. So I feel like NIL is just the beginning of players' compensation on the college level. I think this is kind of, opening up eyes on, the potential of these players, right? We take our business and we look at them. Obviously, they're student athletes, but I see them as influencers first. I mean, they're influencers who happen to be college athletes, right? You have a platform that where you can create influence based off of your brand throughout, so many different levels. If you look at how social media is designed now, man, you look at marketing today. Marketing, when you're a company, a lot of times people start out with, marketing their company off of social media alone, right? So they use these social media influencers, and so I think with college athletes, man, it's a perfect opportunity, man, because when you think about what we did back in college, back in 2007 and those great times, we had the greatest influence over the city of Columbia, let alone the state of Missouri, right? So just giving athletes the opportunity to really, monetize that influence is a big deal.
And thank God that Instagram and some of them platforms weren't around.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because some of those
we might have lost some of them NIL deals.
Yeah. And to bring that in, our company, we have something called NIL Academy, where we are able to produce certain videos and to teach athletes what and what not to do on their social media to really maximize their potential. But yeah, so that's a big space, man, and I'm excited about it. And Tommy, what was your question again?
Just the biggest challenge in that. I think, but it sounds like, to me, it's kind of, we talked about it a little bit earlier about like the same mindset is as a parent is, I want to teach my kids how to think.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not going to be there around them forever. I want to educate them. I'm trying to grow them. So when they're in those situations, when it's time to make a decision, they know how to properly think through it. Right. It sounds like with the academy is, you're not only bringing them business, giving them lobs on how to make money, but teaching them how to think as they go on. Because, chances they're not going to be with you forever. But if you can teach them how to think through it, you will build a pipeline of long, steady athletes. And so that's kind of, to me, is like, it sounds like you are doing is educating them, getting them to understand of how valuable their likeness is, and then how to maximize it. What do you think the biggest challenge, or what has been the biggest hurdle for you as you're in this space? Because, you're the first one there, in a couple of years, you're going to be able to dominate, pushing through all those challenges and figuring out. So what do you think, it has been the biggest challenge, and where do you see it once you can really overcome that?
Yeah, you made a great point. Like, this is new. This is brand new. It's a new space, right? So there are so many things that, we've had to, kind of overcome because you really don't know what to expect. And there are going to be so many things that are going to come after that. So it's just being able to, first of all, we have our goal, stick to the goal, keep our plan, but always being able to adjust, right? I feel like there's always something new that comes that we have to adjust to as a team. And, just like we do on the football field, we have a game plan. We know exactly what we want to do, but the defense might throw something else at us that we have to try to adjust to. So that's the thing, man, just trying to navigate this brand new space under, the rules that are in place, right? With compliance and making sure that, we don't overstep any type of boundaries. And the rules are also changing, right? Things are happening around the country. There's different type of laws for every state. So we have to be able to stay informed to make informed decisions on our business while we're moving. So it's good though. Our team is great. We have a team. We got 2 lawyers, some finance people guys, tech guys. So one of our team members worked in compliance at a big university. So we're able to kind of cover that compliance piece also. But
that's go ahead. I was gonna say that's awesome. Mm-hmm. I think that spaces like this where people don't understand the impact of it is a huge opportunity. Whenever the NIL came on and us starting a podcast, I started listening to podcasts about the NIL and what people were talking about. And I've been in a couple meetings, and I'm sure you guys have been around and hearing people talking about it. But it was like one thing that kept coming up was players, what's going to happen when players skip practice because they're shooting a commercial. And I was like, you guys clearly don't understand what the NIL is or college football, or how that is so far from happening that that's not even a real issue. And so I think there's just such an opportunity for, your business when people don't even understand what's going on or the opportunity. Man, we would love to help you any way we can, just whether it's just promoting on the podcast or anything we do, man, or connecting with businesses, because, this is about making Mizzou and helping our, teammates. We're teammates and part of Mizzou forever. And so we want to help you any way we can.
Yeah, tell everybody what it's called again. Tell everybody who's got it, maybe a high school athlete that's going to college or anything like that, how they can interact with the platform. Just give us a little bit of nuts and bolts so people out there know exactly what it is and know how to get in touch with you guys.
Yeah, so the company's called Free Agent. Our website is freeagentu.com. And as any student athlete from a high school level up to the, college levels, you can just go to our website and sign up and we take your information. We're creating our marketplace. Our marketplace will launch in February. And what that would do is basically, I'll give you a little rundown on how it works, right? So if I'm a business, you sign up on the platform, one side of the platform, and I got a bunch of student athletes on the other side of the platform. Say if I want a tight end from Kansas City, Missouri, playing in the Big 12, right? You can put all those different attributes in your search. And what it would do is we'll go through our database and we will present certain athletes who will fit, what you're looking for. And, you can offer them any type of deals, social media posts or, things of that nature. And, everything is done through the exchange, through the app. And we're not only going to do like single athletes, right? We create different type of, group deals where, you can, have a certain amount of money that you want to market out, through social medias. You can get, the whole O-line and they're all, join on a group deal and stuff like that. So I think, our biggest thing is we want to be inclusive. We're not chasing after the, Dr. Pepper 6-figure deals. These are just deals for student athletes who can, just easily use their social media and, make a few bucks here and there. So it's going to be definitely a volume play. And it's just giving people an opportunity to monetize, what they have. This is name, image, and likeness is what you have as a student athlete now, and you might as well, take advantage of it.
Sounds like it's just as easy as ordering DoorDash, huh?
I'm telling you. But and also there are a few other elements to the company too. So we have the exchange, which is a marketplace. We're doing something called training camp, and it's sort of like a master class for student athletes, right? So we just signed an All-American volleyball player named Skylar Fields at the University of Texas, and she's going to tell us, we're going to have videos, and she's going to teach us on, what she does to be great, like certain drills, certain things that she's going to do, and it's going to be a subscription-based model to where, if you're a high school student, you can sign up, subscribe to her channel.
Oh, that's cool.
And learn some of the things, the techniques that she used to be great.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a bunch of, our key athletes, marquee athletes, and take them through the training camp videos also. And the final element of our company is NIL Academy, which is what we talked about before, on just, giving them complete, just information on how to really monetize or maximize their potential as a college athlete, for sure.
That's awesome, man. That's
a great it sounds like you're doing all the right things. I think whenever it comes to business, and it's interesting how when you're an athlete and you switch that mindset to business, it's like you really understand business. And from you talking about how you're building this, a lot of people would just go out and try to get businesses and athletes and get them connected, right? Where you understand you're an athlete. It's like, number one, I don't trust you. I don't know you. Teach me about the NIL, what I need to look out for, right? So you can make your own decisions. Number two, how do you engage your funnel? And that's, high school kids, they're looking up to these Division I players, and they want to be on that platform. They want to get information and get insights from, hey, what is Danario Alexander doing in his training routine? I want to be him, right? Whenever you're at Mizzou, I mean, you could have signed up, every kid in your high school, every season.
I'm telling you, yes,
every kid in Missouri is looking at that. So the way that you're going about building this business is incredible. I know you're going to be successful, and it's just so awesome to see, all of our teammates make that transition into business and being able to apply your skill set, because you're great at everything that you do. I mean, like for real. So it's great to see you doing that, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a journey, man. And I think one of the biggest things on my end, especially with this company, is just getting a good team. We always talk about, we're so used to just being a part of teams and having pieces around you. It's going to make everybody looks good, right? So, like you said, business it's not sports, but it is sports, right? Because we're on a team, and you got to strategize. You have to be able to execute game plans and stuff like that, and you have to be able to come together as a team and move together as a team. So, I definitely attribute, where we are now to the team that we have at Free Agent U, and it definitely makes me confident to move forward with what we got. And I'm excited, man. This thing it's just the beginning, and we're going to keep building and keep working for sure.
That's awesome. Well, we got a couple minutes left. We can't let you get out of here without talking about golf.
Okay.
How in the world did you pick up golf? What made you say, you know what, this is the sport I'm going to do next? And then tell us what your handicap is, and tell us how you got so good.
Listen, hang on. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to start the credit, because the first time Danario went to the golf course was with me. I had taken him there as my little brother.
Well, I was probably hitting the golf balls with a baseball bat. Man.
Yeah, it was definitely something for receiving. We don't have fun in college. We go out there and we're competing, or it was definitely something for football or competition. We weren't leisurely going out to the golf course. I'll tell you that.
Right. We had to talk our noise about it. And so I think it probably came down to who can hit the ball the furthest.
Yeah.
My first day went out with Tommy, man. I'm swinging. I'm a baseball player at heart. This is my first love, and so I'm swinging. I'm finishing. Probably one hand on the club on my back foot, like Ken Griffey. You know what I'm saying?
Still hitting over 300.
Yeah.
Still hitting over easy. First time picking up a club.
Yeah, so that was the first time. It was fun. I was like, man, this is pretty cool, man. I see why people go out and play. It's pretty dope. And then remember Lorenzo Williams, He would have those camps. And T, I got a picture of you swinging a golf club at those camps. We had these big ass cigars in our mouth, bro. You couldn't tell us nothing, man. So I always had a great time at those camps, but I never really got a chance to pick it up because I was, always hurt, being trying to recover from injuries and stuff like that. So my free time, my off seasons were always trying to get back on the field. It wasn't until I got to San Diego, and I would see, we'd be in off-season training, and I would see, Phillip Rivers and all these guys running out the locker room with their polo shirts on, trying to hit the golf course. I'm like, what are y'all doing, man? What's going on? Why are y'all playing golf? Why? It's every day. You know what I'm saying? The kickers, that's all they do is play golf, right?
They play golf at practice, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. It. But so I had this Nike deal at the time. I think I had about $75,000 in merchandise. Yep. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to get on Nike and order
clothes,
bro. Right. I ordered everything. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I ordered everything, man. And I got them, and I went to the golf course, bro, and I started hacking. I went out, I bought a dozen of balls every time. It was so crazy. Like, I pay for my round, and I pay for a dozen of golf balls, and I lose them all, probably about 9 holes in, right?
Yeah.
So, I loved it, though. So it kind of hit me. And I was in San Diego playing at Torrey Pines and all these great golf courses, not really knowing where I'm at. I couldn't really appreciate it. But, yeah, so I think that it was an off season of 2012. I played every day. I would, like, my routine was I would wake up, I would train, eat, golf every day. Right. So it kind of took over my life for a while. Yeah. And it just, I don't know, bro. It just, golf is a journey, man. It's a journey that it's a lifelong journey. You're constantly trying to work and get better. And you're never going to be satisfied with the sport. I felt like I saw Jordan he had an interview with Steph Curry on Golf Channel the other day. He just talked about how the competitiveness of the sport, with him being able to having to walk away from the game, but trying to fill that void. I feel the same thing, man. Like I'm an ultimate competitor at the end of the day. Like I compete in everything. Like whether it's shooting clothes in the laundry basket, I want to do that, right? So the golf is kind of what scratched that itch for me, man. So I've been able to get my handicap down to a 5.6 according to the Gen app right now. I'm still striving, bro. I'm still striving. I still cuss. I'm not throwing my clubs all over the place anymore. But it's definitely it's a challenge, man. I love it, man. So
as soon as I get my money up, like Tommy Saunders level, and I join a country club, you can be my partner and my member.
Come on, bro.
Hey, we need to play. Me and Ruck played a month or so ago, and I'm about winning. I'm competitive, okay, right? Yeah. So I'm only hitting the clubs that I can hit. Right? Yeah. I'm not pulling out my 60-degree wedge, right? No, I'm not pulling that out. Mm-hmm. And or my 3-wood. I'm not pulling. No, I'm gonna hit a 4-iron, like because I can hit a 4-iron. Right. And I'm playing with Ruck, and he just uses the club he's supposed to hit every single time. Don't matter. He'll hit off the tree. He'll go 2 feet. But then he's getting great shots. But there's a couple of those times, and I'm like, I said, you just do what you're supposed to do, don't you? Every time you just use the club you're supposed to do. You're just disciplined. And I was like, when you're 55, you're going to be an incredible golfer.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, discipline, and it's that mental toughness. It's that focus though, that you got to have, that discipline, that in the competitiveness. And it's funny how it brings it all out.
That's the thing, man. Golf, man, like it's 18 holes, it's a long day. It's gonna have something go wrong. It's inevitable. And the biggest thing is, man, is trying to keep that focus to not let one bad hole turn into 18 bad holes.
That's up the rest of the day.
Hey, Kevin Rutland. I got K. Rudd on golf, right? He loves it.
Yeah.
And he's at that stage, man, where one bad shot, it's just. I mean, he'll be playing great for like 4 or 5 holes. I'm like, dang, bro, you here? You got it, bro. Like we played like 3 over in 5 holes. Like, oh, you good? You playing
right? Yeah.
And then it's one bad shot, bro, and it just goes down.
See the wheels start to fall off.
Yeah, me and K. Rutt need to go play together because that's me. That's where I'm at right now.
The bottom drops. But Tommy, to your point about golf, man, like about the tool, like the golf clubs, they're tools, right? And say I can hit my 4-iron, 230, 225, but I only play it at 200, right? I don't max out any of my clubs anymore because I'm more of a, I'm trying to get more control over the game. Absolutely. Instead of trying to like look good, man. So instead of me banging at 350, I'm just gonna take 300 down the middle of the fairway all day, right?
There you
so,
go.
Yeah, that's the
strategy
game,
too, right?
Once you figure out, my game took, to the next level, man. When I mastered a 3/4 swing, I don't take full swings no more on the golf course, man. So if I can give you one nugget, man, like master that swing, and the game would be a whole lot easier. It's simple. It's you want your golf game to be boring, fairway green, 2-putt all day. So
there you have it, folks.
Yeah.
Hey,
master the 3/4.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, hey, Danario, man, we really appreciate you coming on. This has been one of my favorites. This is a lot of fun, and it's always good to see you, man. So glad that things are going well in life. And if there's anything we can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. You want to come back on the show, we'd love to have you, man.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate y'all having me, man. And y'all stay up. I'm watching the show. I'm tuned in every week, man. So y'all keep this thing going, man. And definitely, it was good talking to y'all for sure.
We appreciate
it.
All right, man.
This is Making Mizzou, sponsored by 360 Vodka. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Tune in next week, and hopefully we'll have another guest just as good as Danario. Maybe not quite, but we'll do our best. Go Tigers, MIZ.
COU. Yes, sir.